welcome to the Sunny Side Up series. Seriously, what was I thinking with this title? I literally cannot stand the look, the smell, the taste of anything egg related. However, it just fit and I went with it. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman, and you, my friend, are listening to the Happy Workaholic podcast. This is going to be a collection of 10 how-to podcast episodes. I repeat, 10 podcast episodes that you are going to be able to binge right now. These are shows that I created to provide a lot of insight and very important takeaways, and I am determined to add a little bit more sunshine and stability to your everyday life. Now, if you are an entrepreneur that has been grinding daily, if you're a mom who wants it all, if you have a side hustle, if you're a patient, a career woman, this is also for the multitasker, the mom who's ready to go back to work, maybe the mom who's ready to leave work and start her own business, her own side hustle, the happy and maybe not so happy, deserving woman who has been manifesting more. The time is now. These episodes have been created specifically for you. Now go get a pen, go get some paper, your favorite little notebook, and start this episode right now. Now, before you end it, I would love if you could rate, review, subscribe, leave me a comment on iTunes, tag me at The Happy Workaholic, post to Facebook and Instagram, and let me know what you guys think. I'd love your feedback. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Sunny Side Up series. I am your host, Kellyanne Gorman, and today I want to talk to you about how you can get the life and career that you deserve. First and foremost, I'm totally aware that there are millions of podcasts that you could be listening to right now, and you choose this one. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to make this worth it for you. And I'm also going to let you know that these show notes are going to be available on Medium as well as my blog. So get ready to learn more tips. So if you don't already have a pen and your notebook, like I said in the intro, get ready because we're going to dive right in right now. So in order for you to get the life and career that you deserve, the first thing you're going to need to do is know that you want it so bad. You have to want it that you can taste it, that you can feel it, that you can see it in the future. You want to journal that out every morning. You want to manifest it. You want to see it on your vision board, and then one day you know it's really going to come true. It's really going to work out for you. I'm pretty sure you've done that with vacations and anything else that's on your vision board, and this goes the same for business. For a while, I actually had two little cork boards on my desk. One was for work and one was like an actual vision board where it was like Pinterest savvy, right? So my other one was full of Post-its and it was all about my business goals and what I wanted to do every month. And I literally needed to wake up to see it every single day. And then all of a sudden, I just started taking them off every month. If you've been following me for quite some time, on the first of every month, I always do my end of month goals. I tally up my social media stats just so I can see my growth, what's working. And also on the first of the month, I redo my vision board or my work board. So I am able to cross things off and eliminate them on the board because these things were happening. And once that started happening, I realized I could really focus on what it is that I really wanted to do, how I could see my business grow, how I could get the clients that I really wanted to work with. And for me, it worked. For you, it might not. Like maybe you need a digital app to help you. A lot of my friends that are super organized online, they have everything in Google Docs. I just prefer, I use Dropbox. Everything is organized online, but I have to write it out. I have to visually see it in front of me, not in a digital way. And I know a lot of other people are like that, and it's a really preference. Another way that you're going to be able to get the life and career that you deserve is working for it. Nothing in life comes easy. Maybe to some people it does. For me, it does not. So you've got to put in the work. If you listen to any entrepreneur online, if you listen to any other podcast, if you're watching Facebook Lives, YouTube channels, the number one thing anybody is going to preach is that you've got to put in the work. And if you're not doing that, don't expect things to come your way. If you're not hustling for it, if you're not working for it, people I know, myself included, we've been doing this online game for like 10 years and I've changed mine so many times. So it's hard when you pivot your business and maybe take a full-time job and then go back online. It's really hard to keep up with things, especially if you're not outsourcing an assistant or a VA or somebody that's handling your content. Right now, I do everything myself, and I just am not in the point in my business. I was a couple months ago, and then I kind of changed things a little bit. Story of my life. And I don't really want to invite anybody else in to take over anything just yet. In the summer, absolutely. But right now, I'm just like in a good flow. I am in my groove. Like, it's just, there's no time to train anybody, and that's totally fine. Down the road, absolutely. So it really depends on where you are in your business, but you've got to work for things if you want them. You can't just like do it half-ass and think that things are going to, come your way. Maybe they will, but next time I'm pretty sure they won't. So if you are a very lucky person, good for you. But I'm telling you, you've got to put in the work for these things to happen. You have to see a vision. You have to see things happening, visualize it. That's the whole thing with manifesting. I follow Manifestation Babe. She's amazing. A lot of my other clients are really into that. And you've got to really see things happening. And it's so crazy because I really started doing this about a year ago when I moved back to San Diego. And I started writing more things out in my journal. Like, this is happening. Like, I would write it like it's going to happen tomorrow. And then they would happen like a week, a month. Like, these things are happening for me, and not just in my business, but in my personal life. And I really realized that there is such a power behind it. And so that is something that I wanted to share with you. Also, you have to show up for yourself. You have to be waking up at a certain time or allowing yourself to sleep, but then letting your schedule kick in throughout the day. Like, okay, I have X amount of hours to work on this project. I have X amount of hours to go work out and, take time for myself, some self-care. And depending on how you work, whether you like to get up super early, whether you like to sleep in, it really doesn't matter. For a while, I was like, if I don't get up at 6 a.m. every day, like, my dreams aren't going to come true. But then just a couple weeks ago, I've been sleeping so much and getting more accomplished. So it really depends on who you are and how you feel in order to work a lot. One of my friends online, I noticed lately that she's been posting Facebook Live videos like super late at night, like 11 o'clock. And she's like on it. She's on her game. And I'm like thinking to myself, how the hell is she awake right now doing this? I would not be somebody that you want to watch that late at night. I could tell you that for sure. But everybody's schedule is different. And some people are just on it in the morning and some people are just on it at night. So it really depends, stop hiding behind the screen. If you have an idea, get online, meet people. You want to connect and engage with people online. That's another way that you're going to be successful. A lot of people, when I'm promoting something or when I'm not even promoting anything, they're sharing my content, and that means so much. It's my friends, it's my clients. I work so hard at what I do, and I always ask for reviews as soon as I'm finished working with a client. Sometimes they just write it on their own, which is even more amazing. But I want to show people I love what I do. My clients are super happy, and sometimes they're not, but it's business, and sometimes you don't mesh well with people. I just got a message this morning from somebody that our vibes weren't syncing, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Let me know if you ever need any other help. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And business can be personal, and it can, you shouldn't add your emotions into business. But if you're in the blood, sweat, and tears frame of mind right now, and you're hustling and you're working your ass off, you're going to take things personally. If your friends aren't supporting you and you're crying to them saying why isn't this working? And they just don't get it, then move on to a friend that's going to get it. Don't move on from your friendship, but just move on, have that conversation with somebody else that gets it. That's why if you're running a business online, you need to find your tribe. You need to find other women or men that get what you're going through. I have so many friends online. I'm so incredibly lucky where we talk all day long. It could be through Facebook Messenger. It could be through Instagram. It could be through, text messages, whatever the case may be. We're always there for each other because we're all putting in the work. We know what we've sacrificed. We know we're going to have those crazy days. One of my friends online, if you're listening, I'm always sending wine and popcorn emojis because that's how our friendship started. Like, we're always talking about wine and popcorn and how we love it. And we just like have always laughed about that, and champagne, of course. But that's kind of like what started our friendship. And then I had her on my show, and it's just like things just fall into place. And it's just so amazing working in a digital space. Like, you really will learn so much about yourself, like when you need to have screen time, when you need to be, by yourself, when you need to be in real life, like having human connection with people. I go through phases where I'm just like in the house forever working on my business, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't gone outside. Like, I need to see like normal people. And then when I go to the supermarket, like all I want to do is talk to the cashier. And I'm like having the best day ever. If you can relate with me, like, you just need to send me a message, because it's so our lives, like when you work on a computer. But I've always been a person that needs to be out and talking to a million people. But for the longest time when I was sick, I just was online. I didn't want to do, I didn't want to take part in selfies. I didn't want to do any more Facebook Lives. I just wanted to put the content out there, and that doesn't really work. Like, you have to be visible. So in order to get the life and career you deserve, like, you have to make things happen. You have to just push forward. You have to, make the sacrifices. If there's a certain house that you want to move into and your budget just isn't working out for that dream house, then you've got to cut back on certain things. And I'm going to put in the show notes a whole list of resources for you to check out that I've actually helped a couple friends with in order to get the life and career that they deserve. And so I really hope that you check those out. They're some of my best tips. And, you have to make room for more positive thoughts. If you're going to be, a negative Nancy, if you're going to invite those type of negative people into your life, it's really not going to help your positive life. It's not going to help you, move forward with a career and an exciting business. Less is more. And I feel like whenever I have a crazy stressful situation, or when I am just like in a negative space and I'm like coming out of it, that's when the greatest content comes out of me. It's the strangest thing. But I'll give you an example, actually. When I first started creating this series, it was months ago. And then I started contacting lawyers for my medical malpractice case. And I just was not in a happy camper situation. So how am I supposed to create this super exciting sunshine-filled, happiness-filled how-to series for you if I'm just like hating life at the moment? There's no way in hell I can make this good. So what I did was actually re-record everything, because it just didn't sound right, and I didn't want it to not mesh well for you guys. And so that's a prime example. Like, you've got to be in a good headspace. You've got to be like in a positive mindset, and just like know that things are going to work out and that things are falling into place for you. And if you start thinking, those negative thoughts again, maybe it's time to just do some more meditation, because I'm telling you, that's all I do. That is my go-to. If you watch my Instagram stories lately, you'll see I was at the meditation gardens in Encinitas. And the reason why I used to go there all the time is because I was always at so many doctor's appointments, and it's literally down the road. So now my therapy is actually every week, and it's right down the road. So every Friday you can be sure to see some meditation gardens, koi fish pond pictures and videos, and surfers surfing on these massive waves on my Instagram stories on Friday. But I don't want to get too sidetracked. So however you decide to go for your dreams, you just know that I'm always going to be here to support you, because I know what it's like. I know the deep, dark feelings of like depression and, these obstacles that you have to tackle and these hoops you have to go through. And running a business online is very hard. Your competition is everywhere. But what else is, there's something else that's everywhere, and that is community. So in order for you to, not even just running a business online, But in order for you to have a great life, like, you want to surround yourself with a community. If you're a member of the Y, I'm sure if you're a mom, there's other moms that you can hang out with where their kids are in like the preschool of your kids. Or if you are going to like Soul Cycle or bar class, or I don't know, like an arts and crafts, or just any like in-person activity in your town or city, there's other people that you can connect with that will become your community, will become your friends. There's other bloggers online. There's, on Instagram, actually, I think it started on Pinterest, where I think it's called Pods, I forget the name of it, but basically there's a whole group of bloggers, and they come together and on Pinterest and on Instagram to boost their engagement. But if they weren't part of each other's community, those things never would have existed. They're coming together to help push each other's content out, and they're part of a community, a supportive community. So a couple months ago, I just started engaging with other podcasters because I was so busy with my own personal life and things going on, and then I'm so busy with my clients and my own show, but I'm not talking to any other podcasters other than my friends. I want to meet new podcasters. I want to meet other podcast producers. I want to meet other people that are doing exactly what I'm doing every single day. Like, I need to find a new tribe. And I realized literally a couple months ago, because I came across a Facebook group, and I'm like, why haven't I been in this group? And there was like 20,000 people. So that just goes to show you, like, you need to look up and walk away from your computer sometimes and take notes and realize like what's going to work best in my business. And what works best is, I think, being surrounded by supportive people, a community that's really going to help boost your morale in life as well. Like, you want to be around happy and positive women and other moms that will make you laugh, and you'll laugh to the point where you're like crying with a glass of wine in your hands. Like, you want to find those people. So those are my tips on how to get the life and career that you deserve. Again, I just want to remind you that you've got to want it, you've got to manifest it, and you've got to work for it. You've got to work really hard. And if you see this shit happening in the future, it is yours for the taking. Now, if you want to check out some of my more resourceful tips, they're going to be included in the show notes for you. I am adding this series to Medium as well, so make sure you sign up for Medium. Check out those show notes. You guys are going to love it. And let me know if you liked this first episode. All I need you to do is rate, review, subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite takeaway from this show was, anything else that you'd like to hear. Leave me a comment, let me know, and then check out the show notes. You guys are going to love the rest of this series. I have 9 more shows happening. They're going to be shorter than normal so that you guys can take notes, take away some great lessons, and this is all coming from my own personal experience. So I just hope that you really enjoy it. I put a lot of work into this, and I did that because it's just things that have been popping up in my life lately, and a lot of my friends online are in need of this information, and so I knew that others out there would be in need of it as well, so that's why I put it together. So thanks so much for tuning in to the very first episode for the Sunny Side Up series, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode for the Sunny Side Up series, brought to you by the Happy Workaholic Podcast. If we're not connected on Facebook and Instagram, let's do it today. You can find me at the Happy Workaholic. For more information on myself, my coaching programs, and so much more, simply visit thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope you guys are having a great day. You love this series, and I'll talk to you soon.